Welcome back to the channel. Yusuf and I, one more time, doing some tier rankings for you. We're going to be tier ranking Darrelle Revis and some of his stints in the league, and a couple plays here too. Going to be a shorter tier this time. Just going to do a little bit shorter. It's hard to rank these NFL players with their moments. An interception is an interception is an interception. You know what I mean? But let's hop right into it, Yusuf. Let's get into his first stint, his most notable stint, his stint with the New York Jets. What would you rate that?
With the Jets, I'm gonna go iconic. Honestly, his best stint, his best time in the league. Great player, great stint. Was shutting down players left and right. Had held the league's top half of receivers under 50 yards. So
Yeah,
iconic for sure.
yeah, totally agree with you here. I was watching a video the other day. It's like that time he held like the receivers on lock. It was like Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson, T.O., and I know Moss burned him in the one play, but I think
Yeah.
the other game that they played, I think he held him to like less than 20 yards or something like that. When there was a couple seasons there. I want to say his second, third, maybe fourth season. He was a fiend. He was just, you don't even throw to his side of the field. True icon to me, a top five corner for sure. Probably hovers around like that 3 to 4 range. But yeah, iconic for sure with the stint with the Jets. All right, so with that being said, with his Jets stint, it kind of makes the rest of his tenures a little bit odd because he wasn't there very long. So
Yeah.
1 year with the Tampa Bay Bucks. This is a contract year for him at this point. He's getting not older, but he was getting to a point in his career where he's established. He wanted the bag, got the bag, went to Tampa Bay for a year. How would you rate that stint?
So I would say fine. He got his money. He was still himself, but the team wasn't that great. So I would say fine.
It's funny. At first, I wanted to lean good. When you say fine, that's really all it was. Like a rental, almost. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like he just went there to get his money and got out. Definitely was still a great player.
Yeah.
But it just, does anyone remember any from that stint? Like, come on, quit lying to me. I'm cool with fine. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. 1 year with the New England Patriots. Bitter rivals for a long time with Tom Brady. I got it in great. And the reason is because like he was still an elite corner. He's a Super Bowl, was the only one he'd ever get. I know it was with his rival, but also he took one away from Richard Sherman in that game because that was kind of the beef at the time.
Oh yeah.
Sherman or Revis. I've always been Team Revis. Don't care. It was always Revis. It always was. You'll never convince me otherwise. I won't even hear it, dude. You could put guys like Buster Screen on the other side from Darrelle Revis and get away with it.
Yeah, I had this one in great though. I agree with you 100%. I think anytime that something ends in a Super Bowl, whether it be questionable calls at the end, that's not on us. We're not the coaching staff. So I think this one was in great. Probably a decent, productive season for him, kind of getting back to form, and ended up winning his first Super Bowl. So I think great.
All right, and moving on to the next stint here. Some people might not even know this happened. I think he played there for less than half a season. He did play for the Chiefs. I want to say it was Mahomes' rookie season, so technically they never took the field together.
Okay.
He just got to throw it in trash. Great player was Cooley at the end for
Yeah.
whatever reason, in Kansas City, and then it hit him one day that he was done, and so we're just gonna throw that in trash. We don't want to remember him that way.
No arguments from me here. I honestly think it's trash. I barely remember this stint or even that season, so I'm 1,000% in trash.
It's like Hakeem with the Raptors and shit like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, throw that away. We didn't see that. No one needs to know about that. It's done. All right, we're going on to me, this is one of his better moments. He doesn't actually have as many interceptions as you'd think because when you don't throw at the man a lot, it's hard to get him. But he had a 100-yard pick six against the Dolphins on primetime Monday night television. Got to go in great. Anytime you get a 100-yard pick six, that's great, especially for a legendary player. Like, I mean, there can't be that many in the history of the game. I mean, I know like it's been done, but like, how many people have honestly probably had a pick six as 100 yards?
No, for sure. Not many. I actually had this in all time.
Oh,
He really strapped up Brandon Marshall on that route, and then just to sit on the pass, pick it off, and get the pick six. Like you see a lot of those pick sixes that are 100+ yards are very long. So normally you're sitting in zone coverage, not really like locking someone down. He did the dirty work and got the reward and took it all the way. So I had this one in all time.
it's funny actually watching the clip too. Reeves was kind of known as not being like he was always kind of known as like a technician and not really about like his speed or strength or
Yeah.
things like that. But I looked up that his 40 time was like a 4.38, which I still think is
Oh
pretty
wow.
damn fast.
No, that's very
And I
fast.
was like, oh. Well, maybe it's just when you compare him to guys like John Ross, where you want to, he appears slow,
Yeah.
but he does kind of get down there kind of effortlessly
Mm.
and just kind of trot in. You know what I mean? So I can definitely rock with all time on that. All right. Speaking of interceptions, we got another one here. This one's almost like trolling the Cowboys at this point. But he picked off Tony Romo in one of the worst just reads, I guess, you could ever throw. Why we're throwing it to Darrelle Revis when the game's on the line is hilarious. But to expect anything else, you got the result you were going to get. He just sits in the route, knowing he's got safety at the top. I'll just call it good, but it is funny. I just want to throw it in there because anytime you get to make fun of the Cowboys, you got to.
Oh, for sure. He locks up isn't just like, oh, it's like someone see receiver and then he makes a play on the ball. I had this one in great, really like ran Des Bryant's route for him. And I mean, I clearly Romo's whole read on this play. I mean, clearly he didn't have a second or third option. It was to Des Bryant or to nobody. Not even Jason Witten was a read on this play. And so he forced the ball there. I mean, Revis locked him up really well. So I had this one in great.
So we're going great or we're going good?
I'm fine with great. I think this is a great play. I mean, he's locking up big name receivers, not Joe Schmo.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess the only reason I'd want to take away from it is because it's so simple. But again, I've kind of said this to other players. He just made it look simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everyone has that ability to read that play before it happens. Along with the tangible skill, he was such a smart player too.
Yeah.
So I think we should reward that with great as well.
High IQ player. I mean, he wasn't Revis Island for no reason. I mean, and that's the next two we're getting into is the nickname Revis Island. It's an iconic nickname. It's not like I don't know. People might get mad about this. Like it's almost on that level of prime time. Like prime time might be just like a SS or iconic like plus tier. But this is an iconic nickname. Like this is a player that really was an island. Like you put anybody on that island, he may not make it back home safe or with catches. So. I think Revis Island's iconic for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely iconic, and it's weird that it's an island that traveled because he would go to either side of the field. This guy was taking whoever your favorite player was as a receiver and telling him to enjoy this week off because he wasn't playing this weekend. Not everything can be this high of a level, but I definitely think it's iconic as well.
Yeah.
Nothing I'd change here. Actually, you kind of swayed me up on some. I felt like it's weird because I think I'm more the Revis guy, but I feel like maybe I was trying to be unbiased. I was ranking stuff lower than I might have, but you talked me back into some good picks there. So, anything you change?
No, nothing I'd change. I mean, definitely Revis is one of your favorite players and always has been. So you might want to try to be unbiased. But I mean, these plays are great plays on great players. Like Brandon Marshall's a very good receiver. Des Bryant as well. It's like if this was against like today's like third receiver, I'd be like, okay, like that's good. I mean, he ran some simple players route for him, but this is like the elite at the time, and he was the elite as well. So I think that they always deserve to be higher.
Completely agree. But that does it for us on this episode. Again, as always, like, subscribe, do the damn thing. Please like, comment, do all those things. We want to read those comments, and we'll get to some players you enjoy. So without further ado, we will catch you guys in the next one.